All right, as I begin, I want to say one thing. If you don't get a video or you get strong feelings and you feel like you're making judgments without having the information really better understood, try watching my videos twice or three times and getting it. Especially like, but that's why I'm making this long explanation video. I want people who don't get things in the short videos to get it in the long videos. So now let me think. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna talk about. I kind of want to give a good explanation so that I can't let my shorts kind of mislead people or let people get false ideas of me. Okay, so one thing I'll say is, so I've kind of talked about Ermac almost like in a relating way. Like I've spoken of Ermac, and here's the thing. Ermac, we know his history, but we don't know his future. You know, where I'm trying to go with this is that you have to look at things in a universal sense, in a universal way. Ermac is a ninja assassin, but Ermac would exist if let's say Ermac is from Japan. If you took Ermac and you wanted to find an Ermac in, let's say, Paris, France, you could find someone who's just like Ermac. Somebody who's also like who's Paris's ninja assassin. So I think that explanation really goes a long way. Also, I've talked about Captain Ginyu and the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force was a like a mutant alien force. I think they had one human being with them. It was like five of them, and they were an elite security force. So that's really important. And the reason I say Paris is virgin is that Ermac in Japan, whatever he does, let's say Ermac trains with his own buddy who's like Scorpion. And then let's say Ermac takes out Reptile. The Ermac in Paris, France would be, let's say the Ermac in Paris, France would be in let's say in the security, in like let's say he's a detective. Let's say the Ermac in Paris, France is a detective, and he takes out someone, let's say a mercenary like from the Ginyu Force, like Captain Ginyu. Big deal, right? So yeah, I think I've broken that down well. But if you watch my past videos, you'll know that I do give references to Mortal Kombat, which is supposed to be fictitious, but like I said, there's a lot of realism to it. Another thing you have to understand is people like Ermac or Scorpion or Sub Zero, any of the ninja assassins. You don't know people like that. You don't meet people like that, and people like that don't really come in the public eye. But they have their own lives and they do their own things. Now, Scorpion with the Shogun and all that stuff, and being part of the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu, or Scorpion, Shirai Ryu, Sub Zero, Lin Kuei. Imagine a Sub Zero and Scorpion in Spain, in Madrid, and they would have their own version and look their own way. They would have their own. They would have a Spanish name, a Spanish way, and so on and so forth. Now, what else can I better explain? I'm trying to think of the shorts that I've posted. Yeah, so I don't like when I pause during my videos. I like making a video where the whole time length is used well. And that's why I stick to shorts and I keep it short and sweet. But these long explanations can be needed as well for people who don't get the short and sweet videos or have some kind of misunderstanding with them. One thing I want to say is that your elite security force is your police. Okay, the government tells the police what to do. Okay, they're also the army because there's an elite security force in the army. Then you have mercenaries, and they are real too, but mercenaries are privately hired. and privately paid. Okay, just like you have an inspector in the police, you have a private inspector for private hire. This is a big deal. So, like I said, if I was living in London, then I'd be I'd be my version of something in London. I'd be that version. So these things go a long way, and like I said, so if, you have to be able to put things together universally, and sometimes it's very hard, especially when we're talking about country to country and internationally. It sometimes is hard to place things and understand things. So it's always good for one to do their own research before judging.